The Marketing Results Club presents Kristie Holden with a B2B success story and marketing results. Kristie Holden is VP of Marketing for Marketcircle, a CRM software provider. In this interview, she describes a marketing challenge her company faced, the solution her team created, and the results they achieved. Here's what she had to say.
I would say the biggest marketing campaign that I was involved in terms of like the biggest challenge and biggest success, I guess, as well, was with our cloud campaign. So previously, our product, Daylight, which is a CRM, it was an on-premise license-based product. So people bought a license for it. They hosted it on their own server and kind of managed it themselves. And then I think it was around 2015, I think it was, where we introduced Daylight as a cloud option. So it was still a native Mac app, but we hosted the back end and it was paid through a subscription model. And so when we first introduced that, we were kind of selling both. And then we kind of quickly became apparent that it made more sense to focus on the subscription model and end of life, the self-hosted option. And at the time, we were within the marketing campaign, we were doing a little bit of marketing to existing customers to kind of see if they wanted to make the switch over to cloud, as well as marketing to new customers. And making that transition of going to SaaS usually takes companies anywhere from like a year to 18 months. And it was very challenging because of cash flow, purposes when you're going from on-premise to now a fraction of that price month over month. And so we decided to go all in with focusing on marketing to existing customers. So I managed this, I think it was about a year-long cloud campaign, trying to convince our existing self-serve customers to migrate over to the cloud subscription product.
That would save them a lot of money, I guess.
Some people kind of weighed it of, well, I could pay upfront for a license and then I don't necessarily need to upgrade every year. Whereas with the subscription model, you're paying every month or every year, but you get features ongoing and you're not having to pay the cost of, hiring someone to manage all the technical back end. So overall, it does save them money. There were a lot of objections or kind of hesitations from customers to moving initially, which is kind of what we had to work towards overcoming. Yeah, that was probably the biggest challenge.
Can you tell me a little bit about how the campaign worked?
So we built out the marketing campaign the same way we would any kind of campaign, where we started with research and we talked to customers that had made the switch, and we asked them, what were the key problems that you had with the self-hosted on-premise option, and then what were the benefits that you got when you made the switch. And so we had a really clear understanding of the kind of push-pull factor in people's the buying decision. And then we also interviewed and kind of scoured through tickets or forums to get an understanding of what were all the reasons that customers didn't want to move to the cloud subscription option. And so from there, we built out these personas, because there are probably about 50 to 100 reasons why customers may not have wanted to make the switch. But when we looked at trends, it kind of fit into one of, I think it was 5 or 6 different buckets. So we built out a persona for each of those. So for example, one of the concerns was privacy. Another was subscription or price, or just not wanting to pay a subscription. Another one was ownership, who has ownership of the data if it's hosted on a cloud product. So from there, once we had a clear idea of all these different personas or kind of objections to moving to cloud, then we started interviewing customers that had made the switch to find, okay, well, which one of these concerns did they have originally? And then what was it that made them make the switch? Because a lot of people have, trust issues, or just aren't sure, or they don't like change, or they're thinking about, the money difference or technical requirements, whatever that is. So we wanted to have a really clear understanding of what were the push-pull factors, what were these kind of core hesitations, and then what is it for each of these personas that kind of helped convince them to make the switch and kind of clicked in their mind, and what were the key benefits that they noticed afterwards. And then from there, we started planning out a bunch of content everywhere from blog posts, infographics, landing pages, FAQs, email campaigns, and just constantly were campaigning about the different, trying to educate people about some of what their concerns were of moving to a cloud or subscription model. as well as case studies. So we would do a case study for each of the core personas, and we quickly saw that it was working. The more that we campaigned, the more content that we had going out, more email campaigns, the faster we started to see customers making the switch. How does our product help them? And really just understanding who they are as a person and, what kind of drives them and motivates them, because everybody has challenges. And I think just hearing about how other people solve those problems helps you kind of get a better understanding of, just how you can kind of push forward and deal with your own challenges, because every company's got them.
So did you have a specific way of tracking and measuring results?
We did have a specific way. So we had a financial target that we wanted to hit by the end of the year, so a monthly recurring revenue goal that we wanted to hit, and then we broke it out by quarter, and then through kind of like the average price per user or per account, we had a target for how many customers we needed to convince to migrate each quarter. So we tracked that on a daily basis. And it really involved getting the entire company rallied around this goal, because we shared our progress every week and every month. We had themes built around each quarter to kind of keep that top of mind. And I mean, even though it was kind of like it was a marketing-led initiative, and I think my team felt the most weight of we need to make this work to be successful in making that transition to a SaaS model. But we had help from the entire company.
Thanks for listening to this interview for the Marketing Results Club podcast. If you have any questions or comments for this guest, you can send them a voice message on our website, and they may respond in a follow-up podcast. By the way, I'm Derek Little, Editor-in-Chief for the Marketing Results Club and Freelance B2B Copywriter at trailblazerwriting.com, providing results-driven copy. If you have a good B2B success story to tell, or you'd like to compete for the B2B Marketing Results Award, you can learn more on our website at marketingresults.club.